guys, welcome back to my channel. So not only is this going to be a makeup tutorial, this video could save you some serious money. If you like the sound of that, give this video a thumbs up already. Today we are going to be doing a half high-end, half drugstore makeup tutorial slash dupes. Basically all the drugstore kind of affordable products that I found are dupes of higher end products that we all know and love. Seen them all over Instagram and stuff, but just have never saved enough money to get them. This is the video for you. Literally, can you even see a difference in my face right now? Take a moment to guess already which side is the higher end side and which side is the drugstore side, and then maybe see by the end of the video if you were right. Before we continue, it is notification bell shout out time, and this week the notification bell shout out goes to Kira Curran that said notification bell on, fab makeup as always, love you. Thank you so much, Kira, I love ya, and I hope you enjoy this tutorial if you're watching. If you want a chance for a shout out, make sure you hit the subscribe button, hit the notification bell, and let me know if you've either come from my notification bells or that you've just turned them on. But without further ado, if you want to save yourself literally £300 and get this look. We've got Amrezy dupes in here, we've got Huda dupes in here, we've got YSL dupes in here, Tarte dupes in here, we've got all the dupes. So get ready, let's go. Okay, so to begin, I know I have like a super tanned face. I'm just genuinely quite tanned right now, and it's decided to stick around my lips, so okay. Okay, so let's prime our face. I feel like which side should be... So this is going to be my high-end side and this is going to be my drugstore side. And I tried to pick products that were going to be dupes for each other, which means they should have the complete same effect, and I feel like they look the same, they should apply the same. So really, there should be no difference. So for my high-end primer, I'm going to be using the YSL All Hours Primer, and for the drugstore side, I'm going to be using the NYX Total Control Drops Primer. Now, both of these have a really like milky finish and they really smooth out the skin. I do actually find that the NYX one is slightly more hydrating. It feels slightly more hydrating and kind of a little bit more sticky, which is what I prefer in a primer, whereas the YSL All Hours Primer is kind of more of that milky, smooth kind of finish, but still works, I feel like, just as well. I actually love both of those primers so much, and I feel like they both work just as well as each other, but literally a fraction of the price. It's mad. So moving on to foundations, because I'm going out after this, I want a long wearing full coverage foundation, probably going to be pictures taken, you know, I want my skin to be looking good. So I've decided to use the Huda Beauty foundation as my high-end foundation, and the dupe for that is the Maybelline Superstay foundation. Both of these have like a super full matte coverage. They both last amazingly on the skin, probably because they are so full coverage. Obviously a fuller coverage foundation tends to last longer because it's slightly thicker. The Huda Beauty foundation I do find is slightly more kind of tacky and sticky, and that kind of makes it a little bit more long wearing as well. But I love the fact that the Maybelline one is so full coverage but is a little bit more easy to apply, and again it still has the like long wearing qualities to it. So this is the coverage of the Huda foundation. Literally, it's so airbrushed and incredible. It is called the Faux Filter Foundation. So obviously it would imply that it just gives the appearance of a filter on the skin, which I literally feel like it does. If you suffer from breakouts or anything like that, this is such an incredible foundation for the coverage. And now let's compare with the Maybelline. I'm hoping the color is going to be fairly similar. Otherwise, I'm going to be looking like a fool. Not gonna lie guys, I literally can't even see a difference, not even in the colour. On this side, I used 1 pump of latte and then 1 pump of Trailiche, something like that, because I just needed to, the latte one was too light and the Trailiche I thought was gonna be a little bit too yellow. And then this side is the Maybelline in Caramel Beige, and they're literally identical. Okay, let's move on to concealer. I feel like this has been the biggest kind of spoken about dupe over the past couple of months. So the high-end concealer I'm gonna be using is the Tarte Shape Tape, and the dupe for that I'm going to be using is the Makeup Revolution Conceal and Define Concealer. I've never actually compared them both on my face. I never did one of those videos, so I'm so excited to see if there really like is a difference. So this side I'm using the shade Medium. Again, this is a super full coverage concealer. I'm obsessed. I used to be just so obsessed with the formula of this one. It is still honestly amazing. And this side I'm going to use the shade C C7. They're so comparable, especially with their brushes. I feel like this C7 shade is a little bit lighter, but we'll make it work and we'll make it twerk. I feel like we've got some artwork going on. Okay, let's blend. It does give the most amazing coverage. Insane. That's the Tarte Shape Tape all blended out. And now let's go ahead and blend out the Makeup Revolution. Wow, literally when you apply them side by side, there is, honest to God, no difference. And that Makeup Revolution concealer is only £4. And for us in the UK, slightly more accessible than Tarte Shape Tape. 100% save your money. £4. I'm sold, sister. Okay, moving on to a good old cream contour. For my high-end side, I'm going to be using the Anastasia Beverly Hills Cream Contour Kit in Light. And a new baby for me, this is for the drugstore side, the new NYX Cream Contour Kit as well. I think I'm just going to be mixing these kind of two shades here for my contour colour on this side, and I think from experience I'm just going to be using this colour here from the NYX Cream Contour Kit as well. So let's start off with Anastasia. Just going to be contouring the areas that I want to, you know, reduce slightly. Half a nose, why not? And then I'm just gonna take a brush like this for the NYX side. I will say with the Anastasia Beverly Hills one, you do kind of need to apply a bit of like facial oil into it before you use it, just to warm up the product. Not that there's anything wrong with that. Oh, I'm kind of a little bit off with the colouring. There we go. Whereas the NYX one is kind of creamy off the mark. Okay, so let's just start the blending. These are of a slightly cooler nature because I want them to be more of like a cream contour rather than a cream bronze, because I'm just going to apply my bronzer with as like a powder form. But I do love the way that the Anastasia ones blend out. I think they kind of blend almost into your skin and just look so natural. As you can see, I just think that looks so pretty. And then let's go ahead and do NYX. The colour of the NYX one, I feel like remains slightly more, if that makes sense. I can't even tell the difference in anything that I've done. It might be more of like a wear factor test. I literally wig off. Okay, now we can move on to setting the face. So I'm going to go ahead and use the Too Faced Born This Way Translucent Setting Powder and the Makeup Revolution Lace Luxury Baking Powder. They're pretty much the same thing. I mean, translucent powders are translucent powders, but I think this one might be slightly more of a pinker undertone. I was going to use a slightly pinker powder for the higher end one, but all the ones that I found I couldn't find like in stock anywhere, and I'm hoping that this one's in stock as well. So I'm just going to go ahead and bake away with my Too Faced powder and just sharpen the contour. I must say I'm a massive fan of the Too Faced powders. I think they are amazing. And now I'm just gonna take the Makeup Revolution powder. Okay, definitely more of like a brightening quality, but to be fair, this one does state that this one is more of a baking powder. I can say that this side feels slightly tighter, as if it's like absorbing more product maybe. But we're just going to leave that to bake for a little bit, and I'm going to zoom you in and do eyebrows now. Okay, so for my eyebrows, I'm going to be taking, for my higher end side, the Anastasia Beverly Hills Dip Brow in dark brown. And for my drugstore side, I'm going to be taking the Makeup Revolution Brow Pomade in dark brown as well. So these are literally like a dupe, 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 da dupe. A dupe, 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 da dupe. I'm going to start off with the Anastasia pomade. The colour of it is a super neutral dark brown. It's not too warm, but it's not too grey. I love it. Now we can go on to our drugstore side. So this is the Makeup Revolution Brow Pomade in dark brown. They both applied really like similarly. If I'm really looking right now, this one is slightly of a more grayer undertone maybe, and this one in comparison is slightly warmer. But in terms of the formula and the way that they apply, exactly the same. Okay, so we can wipe away the powders. like they both look exactly the same. I don't know if you can really like tell. One's not like dried me out more than the other or anything like that. They both feel like sufficiently set. I'm so impressed. I'm so glad I've done this video because I'm gonna be saving myself some money from now on, do you know what I mean? Anyway, we can continue on with the skin now. So this is another dupe that I've definitely spoken about before, and it's for bronzers. So for the high-end side, I'm gonna be using the MAC Mineralized Natural Skin Finish in Dark Golden, literally one of my favorite bronzers ever. And for the drugstore side, I'm going to be taking the NYX No Filter Powder in Golden. They're honestly, they kind of look different in colour. They're literally exactly the same. I feel like the concept of them as well are very similar. They're both face powders, but I've just chosen to use a slightly darker colour so it'll act as a bronzer for me. But they both work incredibly on the skin and blend into the skin because they are just meant to be facial powders, if that makes sense. They also have a lot more of a natural undertone, a lot less red. If sometimes you're finding your bronzer looks really like reddy orange, you should try a skin powder in a slightly more darker colour because they tend to be a bit more on the yellower golden side. I just think it looks so much more like a natural colour. And this is the NYX No Filter Powder in Golden. They both applied exactly the same. They're both a very buildable bronzer, which I like, because you know that moment when you swirl your brush around and then put it onto your face and you're like, oh crap, how the hell am I going to blend that out? So it's quite hard to go overboard with these kind of face powder bronzer type things. They just blend so effortlessly into the skin. I'm obsessed. I'm obsessed. Okay, so a big blusher dupe. For the high-end blusher, I'm going to be taking the Mark Beauty blusher in Lines and Last Night. It's a really gorgeous apricot peachy colour when mixed together and has the most gorgeous glow, and I thought the best dupe for this was the blusher in Luminoso by Milani. Now, I know this is kind of only available in the drugstore if you're in the US, but it's so affordable. It's almost like a drugstore price. So I'm just going to be taking my brush and swirling it around and just apply it to the apples. Such a gorgeous glow. So these kind of peachy colours are amazing. So I'm now just going to, take the Luminoso blusher. Okay, this one definitely, it's giving me more of like a highlight. Okay, so in terms of blusher, I definitely prefer the Mark Beauty one, because you can see that didn't really act as a blusher. I didn't really get much colour from that. Speaking of glow, I'm going to be applying a liquid illuminator before a powdered illuminator, and my powder highlighter dupe is so good, and I feel like you guys are going to love it. But for my high-end side of liquid illuminator, I'm going to be taking the Anastasia Beverly Hills Peach Fizz Liquid Glow, and to dupe that, I'm going to take the Maybelline Master Chrome Strobing Liquid in Medium Nude. So I'm just going to take a little bit of the Anastasia on the back of my hand and take like a little duo fibre brush. I do have to say, I do love that one. But now I'm going to take the Maybelline Master Chrome in Medium Nude and apply it on this side. Guys, I'm telling you, the only one that I found with a difference is the blusher, but maybe I could have found like a better dupe. But so far, my skin literally looks exactly the same on either side. And finally for the skin, this is probably like my best dupe ever. But for the high-end side, I'm going to be taking the Anastasia Beverly Hills Amrezy highlighter, and for the affordable side, I'm going to be taking the Milani Instant Glow Powder. They even have the same wave. I will say though, the Anastasia Beverly Hills one is just like insane in terms of the packaging. The fact that you know you're going to be matching with Amrezy is enough just to buy it on its own. Plus, it's literally insane. But if you want to mimic that amazing glow and you can't afford it to get the real Amrezy, this one from Milani, I swear it's not like that big on my skin, but they are literally pretty much the same in colour and have the same effect. Okay, so this is our super glowy skin complete, and which by the way I can't see a difference in at all. I know I keep saying it, but like I'm now going to go ahead and do my eyes. Unfortunately, I know it's so annoying. With the fact that I've got lash extensions on right now, I'm quite restricted in what eye makeup I can do, and I am going to an event after this, so please forgive me. It is going to be a dark coppery eye. I know. If you do want more coloured looks, let me know, and if so, using what and everything else down below, but it's just because I'm going out after this that I'm just going to do a super wearable look. Plus, it's dupes of some of my favourite everyday products, which you guys might appreciate as well. Please forgive me. So I think I'm going to go ahead and like do one eye completely, all the high-end products, so I don't have to keep like dabbling my brushes in different ones. So I'm going to do one whole eye with all the high-end products, and I'm going to show you exactly how to do the same eye with the lower-end products, and then we can compare. Okay, so this is obviously my higher end eye. And one of my fave everyday matte eyeshadow palettes to use is the Too Faced Just Peachy, let's open it up, like matte eyeshadow palette. This is honestly gorgeous. It's perfect for traveling and like your crease colors because they're all matte shades. Like I said, I am going to be doing a all matte eye, so I'm just going to be working from light to dark. I'm just going to be taking the color Peach Tea, which is just a super light warm brown. Then I'm going to take the kind of next darker shade, which is called Fresh Picked, on a slightly smaller brush, and just pop that kind of more all over the lid. This is where I'm going to be starting to apply colours all over the lid. So I'm now going to take the colour Peach Cobbler, again just making my way through the darkness. Again, focusing on the outermost part, but bringing it up into the crease. Just like so. And then finally, I'm going to be taking the colour Peach Tart, just on an even smaller, fluffier brush. Focusing this mainly on the outermost part of the eye. I'm not going to bring this colour so much into the crease because I want it to look kind of more elongated. So only kind of taking it halfway. I love the way that looks. I'm just going to take a pencil brush and take that Peach Cobbler shade, which was a medium warm brown, and just run that along like so, just to connect it all together. And then in the waterline, I'm going to be taking the Urban Decay 24 Glide On pencil in Roach. And for mascara on my bottom lashes, I'm going to be taking the YSL Vinyl Couture Mascara in number 4 Black. Inner corner highlighter, I'm going to take the colour Peach Meringue from the palette, which is like the matte white shade, and lightly underneath the brow. So that is the high-end eye complete, and now we can move on to doing exactly the same but with a fraction of the price, and then we can see if there's any different in the eyeshadows. Okay, to save you guys some boredom, this is the palette that I used. It is the NYX Warm Neutral palette, and I just went from light to dark, literally mimicking the same eyeshadow look. I then took the NYX 24/7 Glide On eye pencil in Warm Bronze and the Maybelline Total Temptation mascara as the YSL dupe as well, to create the finished and literally identical eye look. So these are the eyes completed. Can you see much of a difference? Because I definitely can't. I mean, I do think I prefer the peach palette in general in terms of like the smell and the warmness of the warm tones, but honestly there's really nothing in it at all. Okay, so moving on to the lip, I thought this would be fun because I'm like the queen of nude lips, so the fact that I can find dupes just makes everything so much better for me and for you guys. So for the high end side, I'm going to be taking the Charlotte Tilbury Lip Cheat in Iconic Nude, and its dupe is the Colourpop Lippy Pencil in Beeper. I know again this isn't a drugstore kind of product, but it's a drugstore price. It's literally $5, which for us is £3 or like something, which is insane once you see the like pigment. So that's Charlotte Tilbury Iconic Nude. I must say it is a very creamy blendable pencil. But now let's do the Colourpop Beeper. The blendability of them is literally the same. Moving on to lipstick, for my high-end side, I'm going to be taking one of my favourite MAC lipsticks. This is Honey Love. I love the like colour of them together. And the dupe that I found is the Maybelline GG lipstick in McCall. Unfortunately, I couldn't find this in stock online, but I found the McCall lip liner online. So filling in your lips with that would have exactly the same effect because they're the same colour. I swear, you could never even tell. And I am going to apply a gloss because I did find a really good dupe. The high-end side that I'm going to be using is the Skinny Dip lip topper in... Wait, no. The Jouer lip topper in Skinny Dip. And on my drugstore side, I'm going to be using the L'Oreal Dazzle Glass in Disco Ball. I swear that it was the same, but... that's the finished makeup look. So this was the finished makeup look. I really hope you guys enjoyed this and found this really informative because I can honestly say I see no difference. Like, they both feel and look exactly the same. In my eyes, I don't feel like I just did one half high-end and one half drugstore, like, at all. They both performed exactly the same. I mean, I'll always have my favorites in the back of my mind in terms of which ones I would reach for more on a day-to-day basis, but honestly, if you're looking for that glam, high-end look and want those high-end products, this just goes to show that you do not need to spend the money and you can look exactly the same. If you liked the concept of this video, give it a massive thumbs up and let me know if you've wanted to purchase any of the higher-end products that I mentioned but couldn't, and now I've found you a dupe. So let me know if I've helped you out, girl. But thank you guys so much for watching, and until the next video, I will see you then. Bye guys.